Ahoy hoy! I'm Planet Walk, and welcome to just a casual stream where I talk to people and we talk about random stuff that comes up, whatever the topic happens to be, you know? Just something fun and something casual. Something to relax, because actually I'm able to relax finally. So yeah, that's always great. So let me switch over to the thing so that everyone can be heard, and there we go. I think you can all be heard now, so ahoy hoy. So, oh, someone says, why do I sound like I'm talking through a toilet? Okay, let's do that. That should help. I mean, I don't know why, I'm trying to use Voice Meter Banana, and for some reason, and maybe it's, I don't know. But one thing that it does allow me to do, right, if I switch back to it, is I can do this. I can basically make myself sound, you know, really, really creepy. Unfortunately, I can't hear my own voice there. So I have no idea how it sounded. Well, I won't do the whole video like that. So one person says Venom with a Kiwi accent. Well, that's a fair sort of... Yeah. Oh, only hearing me, apparently? Okay, why... Can someone say... Okay, advanced audio properties. What? Oh, hold up. Properties. Apparently you can't be heard, so I'm gonna switch this to speakers. Okay, there we go. Now you should be heard.
Testing.
Hi.
Testing.
Can you be heard?
Am I heard yet?
I heard that.
Nice, I heard something too.
I'm pretty sure everyone can be heard.
Wow, that's a
They hear us
robot
now.
overlord
Okay.
coming in to bring on the AI revolution.
This is what programmers really sound like.
Pretty much. Speaking of...
Deep down, we all know.
We're real.
Speaking of programming, there's something that I was talking to MC Nutkin before I came on, before I started the stream, and it actually reminded me of a complaint that I hear from Landon Knoll. Does anyone know who Landon Knoll is?
Nope.
I do not.
No.
No one.
I am a nigger. Ignorant.
Wait.
Wait, what now?
Yeah. I stuttered when I said ignorant, and it came out.
Oh, I was worried there. I was thinking, do I have to kick you?
Pulling the autism card out.
I thought I was like, what did he say?
I
So
was
yeah,
gonna say
Alright, try again, man,
ignorant
try again.
American, and it came out really bad when I stuttered.
okay.
I also put my race card I mixed.
Oh, a family friend responded on Facebook and actually typed that word out.
On accident. Oh my god, it's
Yeah,
basically
yeah,
like that in speech.
Yeah, and
Oh no.
he became Mark with an N.
It's like in the back of my
That
head,
was
I'm just
the
thinking,
new
don't fuck this up on his stream, Seti. It's like, don't ruin the stream. Don't ruin the stream. Straight up says the N-word.
And the show's over.
But
Shoot.
one thing that I was going to, and I'm going to just change the properties because apparently people don't like that it's hide names.
Ugly German Truths. That was Planner Walk
Thank
playing
God
with
nobody's
its
got that
effects.
yet. Phew.
Yeah, I can do a
Wait,
few little
can you not
things
hear
with
us
the.
still?
You're pretty loud at the moment, Planner Walk. Just so you know.
Oh, is it just because I'm close to the mic?
Maybe. I just didn't want you to yell or anything and put headphone people to death.
I mean, you see, there is this one thing that I can. There's this one thing that I can really do. You know, when it comes to this mic, and this is pretty much what I'm doing right now. I'm pretty sure everyone can hear everything that's going on.
Oh, well. At least you delete
Yeah, I can hear everything. I can hear your mouse clicking.
So, it's ASMR walk time.
A day in the life of Planner.
But yeah, one of the things that I was going to talk about. So Landon Knoll, one of his complaints that I can really agree with is Python.
You. Who likes
All right.
Python?
They're snake. It's also a programming language.
So Python has some awful things. Like why is indentation a part of the language?
Yes.
And Doris says Python sucks. Flat
Fuck you,
out.
Python.
Uh-oh, fuck you, Python. We got a consensus.
So yeah, why?
There are better languages.
Yeah, and also, not only why is white space a part of the language, right? And another thing is,
Why are there colons at the end of control structures?
Oh my.
oh,
That's
that's awful too. Another
Dora needs to talk to you about this, not me.
another thing is, and this is really annoying, right? Is the if I want to just increment something, right? All I want to do is just increment something by 1. In most languages, I would go, like, if I had a variable c, for example, I'd just go c++ to increment it by 1. And whereas in Python, I've got to go c plus equal sign 1 to increment it by 1. And it's like, can't you just do a simple thing that most languages do, Python?
It is a good question as to what exactly they're trying to streamline with that kind of thing. That's where I would look.
And it's one of these things where yeah, so the C++ thing was a nice joke. I actually remembered that when I was programming in C++ one time to do this, I was doing this thing that had like 3 different integer variables. One of them was, I think there was A, B, and C. And so one of them was C, and I had to go C++ to increment it by 1. So that was a nice little thing that was that was there. But it's just really annoying how I can't just go, if I have variable I++, why does it have to be I plus equals 1? And when you're teaching people this, if you want to say, so in most languages you can go I++, but you can't do that in Python. But just keep it in mind for when you're programming in Java, C#, C++, anything that isn't Python, pretty much.
That's true. It's basic. It's why I've been looking back to 8-bit computers and to BASIC and trying to learn a lot more about that and hardware code, stuff like that. That's where I'm going back to, because yes, there is extreme confusion and the whole collapse And the biggest difficulty was finding a common language for all software to communicate with. But there are always, and so some streamlines for you will be bad for other people.
Yeah. Essentially, when it comes to programming, some of my favorite languages would have to be, I really like C Sharp, C++. That was one of the first languages that I got into, but recently I've found out that there was a whole lot more to it than I initially thought.
Yeah.
So when it came to comes to the header files, I was wondering, okay, what's a header file? And why does C++ have them, and why does no other programming language have header files? I was just really confused about that. GML is pretty nice as well. It's just, although one of the issues is that it misses a lot of functionality, so you got to use global variables, which for some things, which is not optimal.
That's true.
So if I just want to create a temporary variable and just pass it through to to an object's create event, I have to create a global variable for that, and yeah, very annoying. Or I just go ahead and set the variable in a or I can just set the variable afterwards by getting the object's ID and just, yeah. It's still a good language, though. It's very easy to use.
I was watching this presentation of a guy who was trying to figure out the next step in technology and coding and programming, because he was talking about the very issue that you're talking about, that everyone seems to be looking for this perfect language that adapts in every situation. And the question is that what needs to be done? Is it necessary to find this language that can fit every situation, or is it the fault of and how the programmers approached computers? So it was very interesting.
So yeah, when it comes to that, it is a very interesting question, because I think that basic functionality is probably the first thing that needs to get implemented in a language, so being able to pass a variable to the create event of an object, I think, is a pretty important thing. But then also I can kind of understand why they don't do that in Game Maker language, which is why I would suggest, instead of having one possible create event, maybe have two possible create events. So one would be if it's created, or if the object is created automatically by the rooms that it's in, and the second one would be for if you want to pass variables through. And C# does this. This is something that's done by C#. You can basically have a method that has different amounts of variables that it will take. Like it can take you could give it two integers, a string, and let's just say you've got a particular object that you've got to give it. You can do that, or you could do just an integer.
Yeah.
And that's good for flexibility, because one person might just want to go, okay, I'm just passing this variable through to it because I don't need to pass this enumerator through or anything. So
right, and it would a single language basically solve that, and it usually bring up other issues. Mainly, we're at the point where actual processing is getting to the quantum level. Like,
yeah,
the speed at which we can transfer information is literally being limited by quantum mechanics.
Pretty
And
much.
now we're dealing with the unreliability of electrons. So we have to adapt technologically first, in my opinion,
Yeah.
before trying to figure out if there's a language that can do everything we want.
Yeah, and I do think that there will be. I do think that every language has its limits, especially if you don't understand languages or don't understand what you're doing. So, for example, I could create a not me creating a program, but or yeah, for
An
example,
individual
I
of
could
some kind.
yeah, or for example, someone could go ahead and be programming, let's say in C sharp, and wants to have direct access to the graphics card. Is there a way to do that very simply? I don't think that there is a way to control hardware in a very simple way. I think that if you want to really control hardware, it gets very finicky.
That's why I've been going back to the beginning of BASIC and the format based and the personal computer in general and the conflicts that they had to deal with at the time and what happened afterward. And it's an issue that you have been describing, which with the modern languages, you do not usually have the ability to control hardware. In fact, operating systems really make it difficult. I have to fight
Yes.
Windows so badly in order to do anything that I want to do. And yes, I obviously could switch systems, and I have that intent at some time, but it's a fight. And
Yeah.
Can I add something to this conversation real quick?
of course,
I just want to say, hey, it's me, B166ER agent. I agree. I've thought about this as a little kid. Like, why aren't things more universal? Why haven't we made technology more universal?
Yeah.
And from my understanding, it just comes down to people. It's a business strategy. People make more money selling their own, things. It's just a business thing. People don't. The generation before us would rather compartmentalization, like do their own thing, and okay, that's it.
Yeah,
But yeah, I think it's a good idea. If we could make
thanks, man. Thank you.
program that can connect the hardwares, it would definitely be a game changer because everything would be cross-platform,
Yeah,
And we could use one last thing. We could use the hardware. I was just telling my friend this the other day that phones can run very what is it called, high frame rates, but it just needs access to the right hardware, and it doesn't need to necessarily be connected to the phone in order to gain access to it. But he couldn't even comprehend what I was saying.
I'm not sure.
The biggest issue that has been faced is how
This data transfer.
how software was developed along with the personal computers, because you had IBM here with tons of money, lots of resources, and they didn't bother writing an operating system. They outsourced it to Bill Gates. And then you had people like Tandy and Commodore and Spectrum, all their own version of BASIC, which was completely incompatible with what. But at the same time, the languages were you could program on your actual personal computer. You could access and write it yourself. You didn't have to go into Microsoft Visual Basic. You didn't have to access any of your software. You could access the hardware right away. And sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, there's a video on Computer File which has there's a person who's talking about how they had to I think they had to write a cross-platform compiler or something like that because of all these different things that they had to work with. Do you continue?
Yes.
I guess he.
I thought he was going to say something, but he's just said yes.
Oh, me?
I guess.
I apologize.
Yeah, he said continue. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
I thought... They had to sell their computers. They were selling hardware. IBM had to move their hardware. Spectrum had to move their hardware. And here was Microsoft just sitting here developing operating system. So when everybody had all these different computers in the European markets, everything was saturated. The desire was now no longer a hardware war. It was a software war. And so they decided on the operating system that was basically just a step above BASIC, MS-DOS. Dirty operating, and that's our future.
Okay. Yeah. When it comes
Wait,
to things,
what was that last thing you said? Something operating system. I didn't hear that last word.
Yeah, he dropped off for me too.
So DOS.
You said
is
something operating. Oh, DOS
yes,
operating system.
DOS, the quick and dirty operating system. It was designed for efficiency, nothing more.
Yeah, I agree. I was looking into computer programming, and I started going backwards. For some reason, the further back you go, it's simpler and it's
more
as efficient.
Yes, much. It is really amazing what you can do when you access the components of the hardware.
But that's exactly what I was saying in the comments. Like when I start thinking about the programming, I start thinking about the hardware because you're really limited what you can do with your programming depending on the hardware you have.
Yeah, if anybody likes Fallout, Skyrim, think about that. Just think about, maybe we can figure out how not to be able to glitch through an entire game. Maybe we won't.
I think Doom.
Maybe we
Doom
won't.
was on a good.
So here's something that you could probably do to stop glitches in Fallout and Skyrim.
I love the glitches though.
Here's something that you could probably do.
Some of those glitches are hilarious, man.
Instead of
I've had my head stuck up, like graphically anyway, stuck up one of the big dudes on, I can't think of their name off the top, on Fallout's butt. I just kneeled down and graphically my head was in his butt, and it was funny as hell.
Do you know about the killer cars in Fallout 4?
I don't.
The killer cars. The cars can kill you. If you
I think
get up close and
if you walk by them.
If you actually hit the cars, sometimes it will kill you flat out. It's amazing what kind of weird bugs that are still in there from the original engine. And the issue is, I think we're misusing hardware. I don't think we're using it to the full potential.
So one thing that I think we could do to just fix all bugs in Bethesda games is not having Bethesda develop them.
Well, actually, they should listen to their modding, because the modding community has fixed all their games. Seriously, I have messed with every single Fallout that I have been able to, and I can get it running very stable, very beautifully. It's amazing what they can do with modding.
I thought when I encounter bugs and glitches, I always thought it would be a good idea to somehow implement them into the game, like instead of them just being a thing that
part of it. That'd be
make it
sick,
something.
Actually.
That's what Grand Theft Auto did.
Make all kind of hidden like places and shit.
Well, I want it to be kind of like a cheat code thing, but the thing with cheat codes is we would have to understand how the bug is working, and then have to be able to know how to interact with it. But I wanted to do something where once so many people know about the bug or the glitch or the cheat code, whatever you want to call it, then it stops working and you need to do some other shit like hold this paper and then perform this action in order for it to work again.
Yo,
I
look at,
also
look at Bruce Wolford's comment just now in the chat.
No.
Yep.
So right.
I'm
so
telling
right.
you, they
Using
need to
glitches
listen
is
to the
not
podcast.
cheating. Using glitches is not cheating. It depends on the
I
glitch.
totally
I
It's not a
suppose, but-
glitch, it's a feature.
Yep.
It depends on the glitch, I guess, Marcus. But we're generally talking like getting out of the map and breaking the game. Pretty much.
Yeah, I'm talking about. I want it to be like magical. Like literally, a glitch in the game is like a magic in real life. Like if something happened like that in real life, that would be like some kind of magical thing.
Some of the glitches really are amazing. I did get the head spinning glitch on one of the people in the Van Graff place, and man, that was creepy. It was Sean. I was like, okay, time to figure out how to fix this. Guess what? I know how to fix it. So yeah, it can be dealt with. It is likely just information in the ini. So you delete some of your save information, and it'll reload it, and it's fixed.
Yeah, like
It's hilarious.
I find being someone who is developing a game, I'll find that it's surprising how many glitches will go
No big deal.
unrealized.
Yep.
It's really surprising, and there's the most annoying thing is when you've got a glitch and you do not know what causes it.
Oh my, I have experienced. I enjoy that.
I've had one of those.
And I'm not talking about you don't know what causes it, so you can't fix it. It's more of you don't know what actually triggers this glitch. It just seems completely random as to when it appears. And it's like, okay, why is it happening now, and why didn't it happen before? It seemed I did exactly the same things.
All right.
I got friends that'll dump the whole game into a text file to investigate that.
I want to put out a public service announcement for one of the most ridiculous game-breaking glitches that I know of, which is San Andreas. And it involves a certain pedestrian cheat. If you do it, you will get to a point where a character will kill himself over and over and over again. And you have to save him. And you will not be able to because you accessed this certain cheat that is supposed to be available to use with San Andreas. So yes, there can be some devastating reactions, and Rockstar hasn't fixed this. It's still there.
Well, has this been around for a long time? Is it a mod or that's in the game?
San Andreas has been around a long time.
Yo, I know San Andreas is old. I'm talking about the cheat. How long has this been known about?
Rockstar has always put in cheat stuff in their game.
I'm talking about the specific one.
Yep.
It's been there the whole time?
Yeah, it's something that makes pedestrians go crazy. There's some real cool people who do lots of videos on this stuff that.
Oh, my favorite cheat: R1 circle, R2 up down, or left right. You can increase and decrease the police. You can murder a shitload of people, then get the police off you, and you all their money. Rinse and repeat, and you're rich. But there's also cheats to get you a bunch of money in Vice City. Mm-hmm. It's only viable PS2 Vice City. Pro tips. Pro gamer tips, guys.
Just on a little different topic, I have been thinking about making this game. And I was thinking about probably somewhere in the beginning or the middle. I want to do the history of games, and I want to try to impact as many games as possible into it, starting from the Atari up until like the PS2. I think.
Sorry.
Go ahead. I was gonna say I think it's possible. We have the files, we have a lot more room to hold the files nowadays.
Have you played Saints Row 4?
Saints Row 4, yeah, I played it a little bit.
I love how they incorporated different video game eras into the play style. I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah.
From a beat 'em up, text adventure, old school 8-bit text adventure. That was hilarious. Yeah.
Yeah, literally, they don't do nothing like that nowadays. We don't have nothing that brings back all the games and implements them. And I mean, if they do, I haven't seen it in any way.
There's actually a game that I made which has a couple of different things in it. So to start off with, right, it's a platformer. So you go around, jumping and killing stuff. Then all of a sudden it becomes a turn-based RPG, right? And then you get to the town, and there's this thing that you can interact with, and all of a sudden you're playing a rhythm game.
That cross. Just don't put in QuickTime events. No QuickTime events. I mean, no press down to not die.
Well, so
Jason,
you're probably not.
Jason.
Are you talking about
Yes.
Heavy Rain?
Yes.
Yeah. Jason.
The walking in Heavy Rain. Why? Why?
That game was a wonderful game hidden inside a very annoying movie that kept stopping and starting, and you kept dying, and it kept resetting.
And yes, Jason!
There are some amazing things in that game. But yes, Jason.
I made it to the part where you had to cut your fingers off, and I just gave up after that. That was too much for me.
Brutal.
Too stressful. Too stressful, man. Some shit not be allowed.
Yeah, that was that game was like at half of the game was at 0. It was at 100. You're chopping off limbs. In other scenes, you're like watching someone shower.
I just realized Sean Hufford's here.
Oh, you're not supposed to spoil the surprise.
Who's that?
Hello.
Hi, Sean.
Hi, Sean Hufford.
I just wanted to.
My name is
I just wanted to say, Pete, step away from the edge.
Pete, don't do it.
Stringer News did that shit.
I think that just needs to be a soundbite. The whole.
A bad man fell from the sky.
I'm surprised they don't have a GIF or a meme or anything about Pete yet. Somebody needs to crack that out.
Definitely. If there's anything good that came from Logan Paul, it was Flat Feet Pete.
that whole video is priceless to me.
I'm just grateful that my prediction came true on the whole thing.
I heard a lot of people were onto it from the start.
Yeah.
Mark Sargent supposedly was suspicious too.
Oh, that's.
Sargent was just just in case.
Honestly, they could not.
I think he was either that or jealous that he wasn't going to be the most popular person there.
Or that it was a better documentary than him. So, So it's up in the air on that one.
I know that a lot of flat earthers got annoyed at the Logan Paul mockumentary.
I bet they did.
I can totally see.
I bet they did.
He seemed to get their hopes up, and then it's like that little meme of the Futurama robot. You got my hopes up and dashed them down wonderfully, sir. Thank you.
But the whole Mark Sargent being upset about because he knew Logan was going to troll him doesn't make sense, though, because Mark Sargent just did those commercials trolling Flat Earth.
Correct, trolling himself. But I've been suspicious of Sargent for a long time of just being about money, so he'll probably take any opportunity he gets to capitalize.
Yeah, but I actually side with the hypothesis that Mark was just upset because he wasn't center of attention at that point.
Hi, Mark.
Because any place you see Mark in the comment section, he's always thanking people for bringing attention to the flat Earth, and Logan Paul did that in droves.
Yeah,
pretty much positive and negative, but PR, no PR is bad PR, right?
Not according to Mark.
Should I
Not
just
according to
start
many.
studying? Should I start stuttering some more?
No, just not the way you did earlier.
don't try and say ignorant again.
Oh yes, please do not.
I missed that. I demand he try.
No, I do
did not sound good.
I do not want the stream struck down.
Everybody on the stream said, say what, man? What you just say?
Nothing was said.
I was like, oh, nothing.
He went 8
something
and
about
regrouped now. He should be good to go.
The autism card and the fucking race card, which I legitimately can use.
Yes, he is, Taddy. I'm always suspicious of him. But Mark Sargent, if anything, that mockumentary with Logan Paul illustrated just how gullible somebody like Robbie Davidson is, like why he could believe something like this, because he totally did no research into the man, just totally made the whole show about the fact that he was there, and then allowed them to film everything and shit all over it in the end.
No, it was simple. This guy's got 6 million subscribers. Yeah, we've got to promote the heck out of him.
Yep.
Exactly. Yeah, they had to. That's all he saw, and didn't think for a second that this might be fishy.
Yeah, I think that a lot of
YouTube prankster wants to be.
I think that probably never saw his videos before.
Now, don't get me wrong. As much as I appreciate Logan doing that, I still think he's about the most despicable human being on the planet.
Definitely. No, he's not a good person at all.
I actually
somebody just said in the chat with a super chat, as a matter of fact.
I'm just playing.
Yeah, they said that
I hate. Can we talk about video games?
Yeah, I just want to say a few things. I just want to say a few things about this before we switch topics, because when it comes to Logan Paul, I think that in a way he could actually probably have a competition with Mark Sargent to see who wants more attention. Because Logan Paul was definitely doing this for attention, but even though it was still a fairly good troll,
Mark Sargent would cream himself if he had Logan Paul's following.
Yeah. Probably. I think a lot of people would actually.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a lot of people.
I would.
Absolutely.
I would have to worry about work for like the next fucking 6 years. I just have to vlog breaking.
Well, you do have to worry about it. They put a lot of work into that shit.
I am actually going to change topics here because there was actually another reason why I want to come in. How you doing on your issue, Plain Old?
Oh, it's pretty much fixed now. Like when on Patreon, I'm up to let's see, it's 783 per month.
Very nice.
Okay, well, I want to thank your subscribers for helping out with that. Then, so thank you guys for helping.
I need to thank them. Everyone that did help. Thank you very much. I've actually still got to get through a few messages to everyone, because there were a lot of people that signed up for like $5 tiers, $20 tiers, and $50 tiers. So I've got to just go ahead and get the messages. I will probably be free after the stream to do that. So yeah, keep a lookout on your email, because there are a few things that I just need to make sure of, because I know that some people don't want their name appearing on the end card. So if you don't want your name appearing on the end card, please let me know, because otherwise I'll probably just put your name on the end card. So yeah.
And thank you for asking, Sean.
Well, I just want to make sure I asked you before I forgot about it, because that was actually one of the reasons why I wanted to come in today, since he was doing an open casual hangout. Yeah. And I didn't want to get it slipped under the rug, because I was actually concerned about it.
Like everything's all good now, so it's yeah, it's pretty good. That's why this is a casual hangout, because it's it's just me relaxing really, because I haven't been able to relax in ages. So being able to relax like this is pretty nice.
Good.
Yeah, I was gonna say that
man.
reminds me. You should do more videos like this where you focus on like your game, the things you want to do, or your progress.
Oh,
and
definitely.
get some
So one of
community
the
ideas or whatever.
Yeah, so one of the
Sorry.
things I actually will probably do in a couple of weeks, because currently I'm working on a part of the game which will take a while, so there probably won't be any major updates for it. I'm working on a new tutorial area. So
Tutorial.
yeah, so rather than Bilu just telling you, oh, these are the controls, right? It actually puts you in an area where it comes up on a small screen, to interact, press A or enter or whatever it is. And then once you do the particular task, then it goes to the next area. So you'd get a sword from a chest, then you'd go to the next area. The next area would unlock where it say, oh, equip the sword now. And until you've equipped the sword, you can't progress. And this actually works out a lot better than the way that I've currently got it. So it's, although this tutorial.
Well, I got a question.
Yeah.
If it's, I've not looked at your beta yet because I'm actually waiting for it to progress further before I even take a look at it, because I want to be surprised by it and thoroughly joyful about it.
Yeah.
But if you actually have a platformer mechanic, instead of a jump button, can you have it lower the relative density button?
So
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking about. Physics engine. How far have you gotten on your physics engine?
So yeah, when it comes to jumping, right, it is what is gonna happen is, to start off with, it will be a jump button, but there will be eventually double jump, and when you double jump, that will be you affecting relative density to basically get a second boost. It's actually going to be part of the lore.
I was thinking for the game I wanted to make, I wanted to be able to zoom in and out of the microverse and the universe, be able to zoom out and to see the universe and into the microverse. And then depending on where I'm at, what I'm looking at, it's going to be a different level, or I'm going to zoom into a piece of metal. There's just going to be, I don't know, the specific, I don't know what would be there.
Oh.
When I saw Slither, I was thinking we could do some kind of worm game or bacteria thing where they eat each other
Okay.
and just zoom out.
I've actually there's a game that you should play, right? Everything.
I played it. Yeah, I think
I just got it for free. I just got that game for free from Epic Games today.
Yeah, but that would just
What
be
is
one
that? Who's
aspect to it,
cutting-
though. That's just one aspect.
Who's riding a motorcycle or something?
I think it's Sebi. Yeah, I think he's sort of
Alright, just
outdoors or something.
He's
I'm
cutting
just-
some wood.
super chats.
So
Yeah, I've heard about it.
yeah. Oh yeah, Kurbotais said. Yeah, so Andreas in the north said, "Relax for 50 Nokias." Or, I always call them Nokias. I'm pretty sure it's Netherlands money. But I call it Nokias because I have a Nokia, but it's broken. And Kurbotais said, for $8 Canadian, "This is all I have for now, but I'll shoot you a message on Discord about another income stream you may be interested in." And yeah, definitely let me know, because it'd be interesting to see. Like, other people have actually, Simon Dan talked to me and said about how he can help, and I was like, okay, let's see how this goes, because one of the things that he asked me what I need for Flurfia, right? And I said pixel artists is going to be the main thing. So Twitter actually notified me when Robert Legere retweeted Simon Dan's tweet about it.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
It didn't notice.
He's
It
a good
didn't.
dude. Good dude.
It didn't notify me of Simon Dan's tweet when he made it, but it did notify me of Robert Legere's retweeting of it. So that was very, very interesting.
Aw, you follow me like that? That's awesome, buddy. I'm just messing with you.
Okay. Passive income with a trading company. That would be interesting. I've thought about trading stocks and that, but it seems very risky, honestly.
You know, one thing, if you want to invest in stocks,
Definitely is.
if you ever want to invest in stocks, one thing to invest in is toilet paper.
It's never gone away.
Yeah, that's one thing people. If you want to invest in yourself, you can, you know,
Invest in toilet
make your own toilet paper. Make your own toilet paper and your own soap. Yeah, it doesn't take a lot of things to make those everyday needed objects. I was gonna add something, but shit, I started saying. I'll come back.
Making my own toilet paper, brother.
Distracted.
I mean, yeah, like toilet paper would actually be something. One of the things that kind of is, I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure about. Oh shit, I forgot my train of thought. Oh yeah, recycled toilet paper. What?
Yeah,
What?
Recycle toilet paper.
yes. What they mean is that it was designed from pulp that had been gathered after it had been produced in some other process and not taken out of the sewer system directly.
Yeah, it's not toilet
That is
paper
the
that's been like strung out and bleached and that'd be so ridiculous. Somebody's got the job of unraveling old toilet paper.
My. Talk about a crappy job.
Yeah, majestical discomfort. It's in the Discord lobby, man.
Okay,
Yeah.
I remember what I was gonna say now. I think for your game, you should put in a what is it called? A virtual machine. That'd be cool if you could gain access to like a whole computer, a little virtual computer.
Okay, so I'm going to have a few computers within the game, right? Now, one of
Like
them,
the actual virtual machine.
no, it won't be an entire virtual machine. It will just be, an in-game computer. There might be a few games on it. One of them will say...
Wait, but real quick, that wouldn't be too hard though, right? To implement a virtual machine within your game. It wouldn't be too complicated, right? Just start thinking about it. I can't say the right word there.
Depending how much functionality you want, I'm not going to put a whole lot of functionality into the computers within the game because, it's unnecessary to just make an entire computer within the game. So what it'll probably be is you can log onto the computer and there might be a mini game or something, and you'll be able to open up heaps of tabs.
Yeah.
Very nice. Very nice.
You
Gotta
know,
have the tab.
It's got to be 12 or more.
Yep,
Lots
needs.
of tab.
12 or more.
Does anyone?
I reloaded Chrome this morning. And when I went to my history to restore my previous session, it was at 146 tabs.
Oh yeah? Well, when I reloaded it, it crashed my computer. I
Well-
don't even know we're open. My computer died. I had to get it replaced.
So
That.
here's the amount of tabs that I have open. If anyone is seeing the stream, I'm not even joking when that's
There we go.
like. So I had someone over last night, right? And she said, "Why do you have so many tabs open?" And the
Hi,
thing is,
IQ research.
and the
Hey,
thing is,
Planet Walk,
I had
show,
more.
You can show this if you want.
I had
I'm
more.
about to put it in the chat. Go ahead.
Oh, what were you saying about? I can share something if I want.
I put it in the chat.
Okay.
The Discord chat. That's not tabs.
Open original. This brings it up here. So this is the amount of tabs that like me, mostly YouTube videos.
Yep. All debunking shit.
Oh
Yeah.
my.
And yeah, when it comes to me, I had more tabs open than what I had here. Because I actually, whenever I go to stream, I actually close down some tabs to make sure that I don't have any issues.
Inappropriately, when you're saying that on the stream is saying "get good" at the bottom.
Get good. Hey, if you guys if you do this, that's what I'm about to tell you though. If you do this for Chrome, get a program called the Great Suspender. It suspends all these tabs except for the last 5 you've used, so they don't use any CPU processing.
Oh, nice.
Okay. Yeah,
it's a legit AF.
Very, very nice.
RAM would. I feel like Chrome is one of these things that is like just like a Pac-Man to RAM, you know? Just essentially.
I agree.
But I am one of the things that I am glad about is that on mobile in Chrome, you can basically have. I've got 82 tabs open in my. Was it 72 or 82? I think it's 72. But I've got 72 tabs open on mobile in Chrome.
Impressive.
I'm inclined to ask why.
Because I can never be bothered closing any of them down.
Winner, 1,000 tabs descend upon you.
I might need those later.
Yeah. It adds up. They add up.
Yeah. It's just like, oh, I went onto something, I opened this link in that link to Chrome. I'm not going to bother. I'm not going to bother closing it. I might need this later. I've actually got, because I've got 2 browsers on my phone, on the Samsung Internet browser, I've got, I think, 8 tabs open. And
well done.
One of them is common MP3 bit rates. Another one is...
That's a good one.
Another one.
Well, the most common is 192, but
Yeah, another one is looking for things to do with IRD. Because taxes are an important thing.
Yeah, they are.
And I'm not too keen on having IRD chase me up about taxes, so...
Nope, that's the thing that everybody loves to keep track of.
Oh, jeez, I have no idea how many tabs I have open on my Safari.
I have exactly 0 on my cell phone because I know how to close shit out.
I probably have like 100 here, 50 at least.
I just buy another phone.
My phone's out of tabs. I'll just buy a new one.
I say there's
nice.
2 tabs open. I'm getting a new phone.
Well, I've actually been considering getting a new phone for ages, because this phone, all of its internal storage is basically used up. It has 16 gigabytes of internal storage, and I got this 3 years, so I could probably get a phone for...
I'll just say this. 70 tabs. Close them out.
I mean, a tab doesn't use much internal storage. At most,
but it does retain in a swap file type memory system. So it takes it out of active memory, but it fills up your storage space really quick.
Okay. Yeah, I might close a few tabs then. But yeah, essentially, when it comes to my phone, it has. I find that whenever an app updates, it will go, "Oh, you're using an external memory to store me. I'm going to use internal storage because fuck you. That's why."
Yeah, I've never understood that about phones. They have the internal storage, you have the SD cards you can put in, and it wants you to choose either or, but it won't use them simultaneously. It drives me insane.
Yeah, and it's really annoying when you've got something like Spotify on your phone, for example.
It's probably a processor. It's probably a processor limitation, though, right?
Well,
but it's a hot swappable external storage device. Even the basic laptops can handle that properly. Why can't a freaking phone?
Yeah,
smartphone, right?
Yeah, like I've got a tablet which has an an SD card in it, a 32 gig SD card, because it only... Okay, so another thing that's really annoying is when it comes to these tablets that you get, or these computers that you get, they only come with, like, I've seen some that only come with 64 gigabytes of storage. You're going to go through that easily, especially if you're me. But yeah, my one has 128.
It'll take up what, like 30?
Yeah. So I've got 128 on my Surface, right? And yeah, I've had to put an external SD card in, and you know, because I can just, if I have something in documents, I can just easily move it to the SD card, because you know it doesn't matter where it is, just as long as you can access it. So yeah, I don't get why phones can't do the same thing. And sure, you can move audio files to your SD card on your phone or things, but you just can't move apps to your SD card. And yeah,
unless you have it chosen as your primary storage device, in which you don't use the internal memory, it stores it all on the SD card.
Yeah, I found that
you would think that downloaded apps or things you download directly from the web that the phone actually uses as a application would store it on the internal device, and it would do everything else that you do with a phone that doesn't require a download would go to the external device. That would make sense. But these phone companies just don't want to do that.
Well, when it comes to my phone, right? When I install something, so let's just say I want to install what's a good app?
What's
subjective?
Give me an app to install.
Give me an app.
Because I sure the heck ain't gonna sponsor an app. I'll say that.
Okay, let's say Netflix, right? Let's say you install Netflix.
All right.
So what it will do is it will by default put it into internal storage. That's fine, right? Now what I have to do is I have to go to my apps, go into storage settings, and change it from internal storage to external storage, which is the SD card. And then after that, if the app updates, it goes back to internal storage. It's like, I put you on external storage for a reason, because I don't want to be using my internal storage.
Let me put it this way. If phones use some phones actually do use the Windows operating system, but if, like, just as a comparison, it's like downloading a Netflix standalone program for your computer, telling it to store it to the D drive when you install it, and then because it has an update, that update automatically defaults back to the C drive. That's exactly what's going on here, and it's retarded. Yep.
Exactly. It's exactly what's going on. And, you know, some apps use quite a bit of memory. Like, I've got an app which uses, I think, 2 gigs. Let me just check that. I think I actually had to uninstall it and reinstall it because it was like 3 gigs because I had high quality settings. So, I don't want to go to device maintenance. I want to go to apps. Let's see how big this app is when it loads.
It's like they're literally designing these phones to have a single-use storage device only, and it can't handle a second drive. So whatever you select as the default is what it chooses. If that app ever updates, it defaults back to the original storage device, which is the internal.
Yeah. So even though I'm using the low-quality settings for Kingdom Hearts Union Cross, it still uses...
Yeah, I love Union Cross.
It still uses 2.01 gigabytes.
The hidden chapters, man.
I haven't played it in a while. I think last time I played it was around about the time that Kingdom Hearts 3 came out. So maybe there's probably a few interesting things. I do remember that I got the Supernova Kairi because that was OP. Or at least it was...
I just credit you for knowing what that game is. Most people who even play Kingdom Hearts don't know what it is.
Off topic again, but who is Wade? I'm curious on this. I keep seeing it on your stream, but I have no idea what it means.
Is that Wade's Underworld, maybe?
No. So this is a bit of... so this is something that... If you actually go right back to some of my very first videos, So I think it's the video where I announced that I'm doing a gaming channel. There was this person called Wade that was in the video. Now that video is cringy, really cringy, right? And I've reacted to it just saying how cringy it is. But you know, I don't like deleting my videos. I like having sort of, you know, anyone can go ahead and sort of see how I've grown, you know. Even though there are some that I'd probably, you know, if I could go back, I wouldn't have made them at all. But anyway, continuing on. So when it comes to Wade, he was in that first video, and then I sort of started. Well, I kept on saying, "Hey, look, let's make a video, right?" For like 6 months, and he didn't. He was always busy or something. So I went, okay, I'll just start the channel myself. And then eventually there was this thing this campaign that I did to get Wade to sort of come on the channel. You know, saying, Wade, just do it! Because that was a big meme at the time. So then he came on for like 3 videos, I think it was, where we played Eyes the Horror Game, Agario, and he had a chat with EeveeBot. What I would like to do...
Okay, that's cringy.
What?
EeveeBot, that's cringy.
Yeah, but...
John Rapp's got a question for you.
My question, why has Google been promising for years now they are developing dark themes?
My Chrome has a dark theme. I don't...
Yeah.
Okay, Google is in a constant state of beta, so there you go.
It does seem that way.
Yeah, good point. Like if you go to YouTube Studio, it's still called beta, right? It's like I think it's been like that for close to a year now. When did they first release it?
In fairness to them, but in fairness to them, they do still have the classic available. So I guess as long as they have that, they can just call it beta for as long as they'd like.
Yeah, and
well, I understand why they're saying beta is because it's an ever-changing platform, so they never do get a finished product because it's always changing.
Mm.
So beta fits.
I do want them to create a...
Interesting. Well, maybe they were playing volleyball.
Maybe.
No, he said globe, so maybe it's colored and it has...
Okay, now
God, there's so many zombies. I should have never shot a gun. No.
Okay.
The liberals were right. Guns are fucking dangerous. No, zombies.
Are you playing like Dying Light or something? Come on.
Hold up.
Nobody move.
It will... Okay, it should be fixed really soon. Hopefully... Okay, is it back? Did it... I think it is. I'm just
it's not buffering anymore, but I think we learned a lesson here to never talk about our evil overlord.
Okay, it's back. Finally.
We should just never first session.
Demon Orb Heathen says it's working.
Okay.
Daddy says it's working, so we're good.
And we're down to 22 concurrent viewers. That's a way to nuke the viewer.
Man, you lost 30 viewers in that. Damn.
Kamikaze. Time to drop your album, boy.
Maybe it was YouTube being like, oh, hey, 1 minute, Debunk.
Debunk was here.
Hi.
It's time for you to pursue your rap career.
I'm beginning to feel like a rap god.
You're beginning to feel like you're chilling the alien, the motherfucker peeling the banana like you're chilling, sitting next to. I don't know.
I mean, there is one.
Okay.
There is one song that I did.
Let me start up a stopwatch.
I'm not allowed to
Aether
crack.
ban. 1 minute debunk. Go.
There's no evidence for it.
Okay, there you go.
End.
Yeah.
I still think.
I'd need to pad for a good 50 seconds if I made a video on that.
Well, yeah, but it's always fun. I just wanted to test the name.
Yeah. Oh, we're back to 35 concurrent viewers.
I think they're just all exiting out.
I still think 1 minute debunk's got the best format. I like how it's just Here you go, bitch. Done.
Yeah,
Straight bars.
as soon
No effort. All bars.
Here's the thing: as soon as 1 Minute Debunk posts a video, I will watch that,
watch
and sometimes I'll rewind it and watch it
Every
again.
time.
Like the last video
Every
it was where he said about I think it was the seeing the Great Wall from space, right? I just went ahead and watched. I watched that like 5 times at least because it was the whole part where you said the moon. Yeah.
Why would they be saying they can't hear me? That doesn't make sense.
Oh shit!
I don't know.
I got bitten, so I'm just going out my guns a-blazing.
I mean, if
I like this stream. Everyone seems to be
More like
favorable for me.
Wait,
over and over again.
like if they can't hear Robert Legere, then they probably wouldn't be able to hear 1 Minute Debunk or Sean Hufford or.
I need a transformer in here to help.
Yeah, I'm just saying, as long as you can hear me, they should be able to hear me. You're broadcasting your output, so.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know.
I just
Now they said they can hear me, so maybe they just didn't. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think they were just pulling your chain, man.
Maybe they were pulling their own chain.
But here's the thing, though. Like what I was gonna say before I saw that is I've never laughed. 1 Minute Debunks, one video had me laughing hard in any of it, and it was just a silly line at the end. He said, "Look, Hep set shits in the Apache." And
How boring.
It's so cheesy, but it was hilarious to me. It's like,
I mean, that is literally what they believe, though. That
but it was
these carvings really showed helicopters.
Brought down like that. Yeah, and you know what?
Someone carved a helicopter, but everyone else is like, it's just a helicopter. Who cares? In ancient Egypt,
they're thinking.
It's like the whole
I
faces
laughed
on.
at that for days, dude.
It's like the whole faces on buildings thing, you know.
Oh yeah, they have a word for that.
The science guy.
I don't know why Bruce said perhaps end the stream to work out the issues and advertise for another day, but it's back.
God, these things are like the crypts. You kill one of them and 20 of them come in their place.
Bruce.
I mean, bad.
Bruce, what problems are you talking about? What's going on?
Reloading. If
smash F5 and then smash like.
Quality drop because it put my quality down to 144. It put my quality down to 144 whenever it restarted. Maybe his has done the same, but I put it up to 1080 and it went right back. Everything's fine for me here.
Yeah, it's one of them things where it's really weird because my streams are actually higher quality than my videos because I record in 720p for videos because my graphics card is shit. I don't have a graphics card in my computer. Well, I do have a graphics card, but it's not that great. It's just a standard Intel one. I'd actually probably, at some point, I should probably get a graphics card which actually can handle Unreal Engine. So that I can actually, because currently I can handle
Dude, I'd send you one if it didn't cost $400 to get it to you.
Well, here's the thing as well. To put a new graphics card in my PC, I would also have to get a new case because the PC that I've got here is one that I got from Course. So when I did,
take a plywood.
So it's basically a pre-built one. It's a good PC. It has 16 gigabytes of RAM and it also has an i7 processor in it. So it's a good PC, but it's
Yeah, if I wanted to upgrade my graphic card, I would have to get a new power supply because mine doesn't have a 6 rail for external power for video.
Oh,
That's my issue. I need to get a higher power supply before I upgrade my graphics card.
Yeah, I should also if I'm going to upgrade my graphics card at any point, I'll probably also have to get a power supply because my computer right now, it's, as I said, it's pre-built, so everything is sort of built. Everything is kind of chosen based on based on what it's expected to use. So
Well, the way mine sits right now, it's pre-built except for the sound card, which is a Sound Blaster Live 5.1, which is not supposed to work with Windows 10, but I'm a smart cookie.
Nice.
That's always great. Yeah. This computer, I was actually surprised at how good it was. Like that it actually had like an i7 and 16 gigs of RAM, because when you go to a course and it's $1,000 per year, I think, or no, $2,000 per year, and you'd expect to get something shitty, but it's actually pretty good. Although because I didn't have any student, or because there was no fees, most of it was just material costs, so that's always good. So yeah.
Computers constantly upgrading, changing.
Bruce says he's good now, I think.
Oh, okay. You're really quiet, MC Nutkin. Like really quiet there.
Well,
Yeah, even with you turned up, you got super quiet there, dude.
MC Napkin? Is that his name?
No, MC Nutkin.
Can we do a collaboration video?
MC
I'll
Nutkin.
turn into an ironic MC for you.
how am I doing now?
I'll be a little sneeze, and I'm gonna get a face tattoo on the side of my nose that says "achoo."
Well, here's what
What's going
needs.
on here?
Here's what we should do. We should get MC Nutkin to do a collab with MCToon. Have them put out a rap video.
MCToon is territorial. MCToon is too territorial about the MC moniker for that. I'm just kidding. I have no idea how that.
Oh, okay.
I have no idea about that.
There is not enough room for two of us on this internet. Wait, hold on. Maybe
So
there.
are you at a race course?
He's,
like
playing,
somebody
that
just like-
game. He's playing that
who's
zombie
actually-
game.
CB is the race
that's
horse.
not-
Zombie game.
Oh, is that like the chainsaw?
God damn it!
Why do you
I
have a
didn't even realize
chainsaw?
that. I think that. Leave me alone. It's not
He's
fucking
fighting
it's
zombies.
real.
Chainsaw. The zombie-
This shit is real.
Why
One
do you
time,
have a
motherfucker.
chainsaw?
How do you handle your zombie? I don't know. I mean,
I mean, to me, it sounds like either somebody using a handheld router or a handheld circular saw.
I was thinking someone was getting attacked by some RC plane or something. That's what I was thinking. Go away.
Like a
Drone.
tiny version of North by Northwest.
Exactly.
But
Really, just
even though, the casual spaceman showed
I'm
up.
gonna tell him to join.
One thing I was just gonna say, even though I can't turn into a race course, I can turn into a computer
oh my.
or a robot.
Sounds more like you're speaking into the back of a fan.
Megatron, yeah.
Now there's the
Wait,
airplane again.
Is this better? Is this more robotic?
That
Nah.
sounds like you just huffed some air duster or something.
You sound like some experimentation.
Is
So,
this more robotic?
Planner, do they have a puberty filter in that little audio thing you got?
With your filter.
I have been de-aged to 11.
I can also do this.
Oh my. Oh man. You
John Rapp
Day
says,
on
"Who can
YouTube
follow
until
AB
Satan
Science without rewinding a bunch of times?"
Not me.
I watch AP Science on 2 times.
Not me either.
Speed.
I have to rewind his videos a couple times.
I have to rewind when I actually want to try to start double checking the math that he does. But as far as just listening to him, I can make out what he's getting the point across on the first watch. But if I want to go back and double check his math, I have to watch it 2 or 3 times.
I watch
dare you
everything on
double
2
check
times
AB
speed
Science's
nowadays.
math.
One thing that would be
I wish they had 3 times speed.
one person.
Do they have
yeah,
that?
The casual spaceman said, "Now you sound like Satan," right? And I,
Yep, pretty much.
what needs to happen is I need to get a flurf into a voice chat and just, add that effect.
Just make him sound like Satan.
I mean,
Wait for them to bring up the Illuminati or the New World Order and then just be like, talk about
It's the Illuminati.
You just
Deny that ever happened. Just like, what? I didn't hear it.
I just go,
Talk about that.
Yeah, there you go.
Just,
Oh
just
man.
pipe in the conspiratorial stuff.
yeah.
What's that voice? Oh God, no!
And then they'll
No!
they'll probably ask what was that, and be like, what was that?
God,
What do you mean?
I just ran away from that horde. I don't know how I got out of it.
Chainsaw?
I didn't hear any chainsaws, so you're lying.
Oh, no chainsaw. No chainsaw.
Oh, there's the chainsaw.
What chainsaw? It's actually a tabletop buzzsaw.
I still think it's an RC plane, and you're just trying to refilm Hitchcock.
But here's one of the really great things about knowing AB Science, right? Is there was one video that I watched, right, which wasn't a flat Earth video. It was actually someone who says, "Look, the Earth is a globe," and apparently that pissed off some people in his audience. So it goes to show what type of audience he has. But anyway, when this guy was talking, my bullshit detector was just ringing through the whole time. So I said, "Hey, AB Science, this sounds like a whole lot of word salad where he's just, saying words to sound smart." And AB Science said, "Yeah, that's exactly what it is."
Well, points for honesty.
Yeah.
Not only does the guy sound smart, but he sounds smart on top of it. So when he starts talking, you're just like, it's kind of
Right.
droning.
Do they wear glasses?
I don't know. It's this guy that's bald, I think.
It's gotta
The
add
guy who made
glasses.
the video.
Fill it out.
Yeah, and I actually was just checking a comment recently from. Oh, I checked a channel to a comment to see if it was to see if this person had any content, and I had a look at the liked videos, and one of the liked videos was from this person. It's just, oh my god. So yeah,
Hey, casual.
I'm just a cat.
Who mentioned
He
casual
couldn't help it.
hangout?
He couldn't help it.
Well, it's a casual hangout, you know what I mean?
You gotta join. What's up, man?
yeah.
Hello.
Moon, the stars, it's all up.
It's relative.
So let's do some
Density
housekeeping.
is relative.
Let's do some housekeeping. Any sign of any flatness?
No, Bigger Agent Smith was in here earlier. Bigger Agent Smith was in here.
Any sign of the Northern Star from the Southern Hemisphere?
Nope.
If you are on a reasonably sized mountain just below the equator, you could see it.
Yeah. Reasonable.
Hooray!
Well, what define reasonable?
Well, maybe if you. How about
You're
if you're in the
space of the southern hemisphere.
Yeah, what if,
Olympus Mons type size, that kind of size.
No, he means if
Depends
you're
how
just
close
on
you
the
are
to
other
the
side of
equator.
What if
I
you're
don't-
just on the bottom side of the equator, like still on the bulge?
Go a meter below the equator and then just jump.
Yeah, you're good.
Technically, that could just about work, especially considering Polaris isn't exactly on the celestial pole.
Right, let's solve this. Right, plan a walk. Are you able to see the Northern Star?
He's not.
I've never
He's
seen
as
the
far
Northern.
away as the equator as you can probably get.
Can you
Yeah,
see
I've-
it from where you live?
Yeah, if I were to go outside and try and, well, it's daytime right now, but if I were to try and find the Northern Star, I can't see it. Although I do think I saw it was either Mars or Jupiter last night. It was definitely a planet. Although
Well, I would hope so, since those are generally near the ecliptic. So
yeah, so last night I may be wrong, but I do think that it looked red. So
Were you looking through it with your toy telescope again?
no, I was just looking at it with my eyes.
All right.
So it's probably Mars, Jupiter, Venus, or Nibiru.
Oh, it was Nibiru, definitely.
about what
Okay.
time was that?
Would have probably been somewhere between 9 and 11 p.m.
Yep, Nibiru. Any time for Nibiru.
Oh, so they have the transcendence of Nibiru mapped out now? That's nice.
Oh yeah.
Find those numbers.
One thing that would be interesting is if they did manage to find the 9th planet.
Okay,
Maybe that's Nibiru.
that could have been. It wasn't Mars. It wasn't visible at all. It's on the daytime side.
Okay, so it would have been Jupiter then.
Could have been Jupiter or Saturn. Actually.
Okay. Yeah, I think it was probably Jupiter because Jupiter seems to be relatively bright compared to other ones. But one thing that
It's just lights in the sky.
oh yeah, just lights in the sky, except
Just light reflecting off clearly solid or gaseous matter into your eye. It's like all other matter.
I still can't let go of Pluto yet. I still haven't let go of Pluto.
Yeah, Pluto is the
No
real...
one mentions Ceres or Mackie, whatever it's called.
Didn't they make
One of the things that about Planet 9, because I watched a video quite recently where they're searching to see if there is a 9th planet, and they're looking. They can get, I think they get like 1 day a year or something like that, or 1 day a month, where they can actually plot out the sky because of they've got to have perfect conditions because of how far out it would be, and it'd be about the.
Can I just interrupt you for a very important person? A very important person wants to say hello. Right, go on then.
Hello.
Ahoy hoy.
My son.
Hello.
Planet Walker said ahoy hoy. That's what he says.
Ahoy hoy.
Ahoy hoy. Yeah.
Yep.
Did that really happen?
Did what really happen?
Nobody really knows what
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys. I thought I was mute. 1 second.
Okay. But yes, it did really happen. I don't know what really happened, but it did.
Oh my god, it happened.
Yes,
It happens so much. What I forgot what we're talking about here.
Yeah,
I was thinking about Plan 9.
Something happened. Something happened, but you don't know what it was that happened. But it happened a lot.
One person said if there is a Planet 9, it'll be in the outer edges of the Kuiper Belt, and yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
And actually, the Kuiper Belt is I think a lot of the asteroids in the Kuiper Belt is why people think that there is a Planet 9 because of the orbits seem to be off to one side mostly. I think
most likely it'd probably be most likely on the inner part of the Kuiper Belt. I should imagine. I wouldn't suspect to be on the outer.
It'd be way out there.
But, well, yeah, I mean, it's still a freaking long way away, though.
Yeah, but it's very difficult to find because of how far away it is. Because
it's probably so small, and even if it's mixed up with the asteroids and stuff on the Kuiper Belt, you'll be almost impossible to see it unless you're somewhere near one of the outer planets, perhaps, and you've got a really good telescope.
And I do know that it has a.
Oh well, it can't be mixed up with the asteroids because the definition of a planet requires it to have cleared its orbital path.
True. Okay, but it could be sort of somewhere near it, though. It'd still be difficult to see.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's got a 10,000-year orbit. Well, that's what they're predicting anyway.
It would.
Well, yeah, from that far away, it probably is.
If people really want 9 planets that badly, they should just readopt. Just say, we were wrong. Just come on back.
Yeah, I agree. Bring Pluto back. I've never got over Pluto.
Sorry.
No, but then you have to include the other 4 dwarf planets. So you still have an even number of planets.
Well,
I was just going to say,
no, you'd have an odd number then.
Even before we found Neptune, we technically had 11 planets. There was actually 11 named planets. Ceres was one of them. Vesta was another. I can't remember the other ones, but we actually had 11 named planets at one time before we found Neptune.
Okay.
Yeah, this kind of sounds like a sports league that is just refusing to let members in. No, you cannot be No,
you're not big and bad enough. You're not part of the crowd anymore.
Pluto. Yeah, Pluto-chan is a planet.
It's a dwarf planet, but that's still a planet, right?
You missed the Chan there.
I don't get it. It's still got the word planet on there, so therefore it is a planet. As far as I'm concerned.
Plainer, do you want to explain to him what the Chan suffix is?
So essentially, the Chan suffix is there's this meme that went round when people started saying, "Oh, the Earth is flat," and there's Earth Chan who is not flat.
Okay.
And
oh my mind went somewhere on that, and I'm.
Oh no, I think your mind went to the right place.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure your mind went to the right place. You know, everyone's calling.
The internet is lewd.
All right, well, I guess I confirmed it within my mind. I'll keep it there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably best.
Also, shame on you. That's disgusting.
I agree.
And then there's more recently there was actually Black Hole Chan.
Black hole sun, won't you come? What,
And
they're not eternally destructive and have the gravitational pull enough to destroy a planet. That's not them.
Well, essentially, Black Hole Chan. You know, remember the photo of the black hole that was released by a whole lot of space agencies and stuff were involved in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's only one photo of a black hole, so
yeah.
You don't need to be too specific.
Yeah. So essentially, Black Hole Chan is based on that. So. And
that's relatively recent then.
Yeah. And
it's good to know you keep up to date with this sort of thing.
There's also Mars Chan, you know, all kinds of things.
I apologize that I do not keep up with that aspect of culture. I'm sorry.
You don't keep up with weeb culture?
I guess I don't. I need to expand my horizons.
You need to
do some high IQ research and open some tabs. Let's break another computer.
Here's the tab that you need to. Here's the tab that you need to open. Right. First, I need to get sponsored by NordVPN. Then you all need to get NordVPN. Then you need to change your location to New Zealand. Then you can watch Anime Lab, and then you will be able to watch Sword Art Online and any anime that you want. Or if I get sponsored by Crunchyroll, or
unsubscribe to Funimation,
and then your life is complete.
Yeah, so if I get sponsored by Crunchyroll or Funimation,
dude, love a good anime.
Yeah. So if I get sponsored by Funimation or Crunchyroll or something, then you can just subscribe to that, and that'd be equally valid.
Sounds lovely. Lovely.
Or you could just buy this game here, Sword Art Online Fatal Bullet. That would be... that'd be...
I really liked the first 12 episodes, Sword Art, and then I lost interest.
Oh yeah,
it's the end of that season. I watched a little bit of the Bullet Hell. That wasn't quite as interesting. I don't know. As soon as it kind of got out of the holy crap kind of thing, the whole idea just, this is just a normal story of normal anime things, and
to start off with, it was really good because it's holy shit, how are they gonna get out? And it was a very interesting twist how they basically you'd expect the big fight to happen right at the end of the season. I was expecting all the seasons to be like that, but first half of the first season was good. Then the second half was what am I watching? None of this makes any sense whatsoever.
You're watching fan fiction. It's the Rescue the Princess thing. It was all very, very Mario-esque, and it was at the time I was playing Final Fantasy 14, and the FC leader I had was Lord Oberon, or the name of the main character. And it's oh my, this is a big the programmer who was way not describable on a family channel.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Plainer Walk, I've got like 5.5 hours to 6.5 hours. Sorry, before I actually have to do a stream tonight. So I'm going to cut out so I can get some rest and try to keep it together for that.
Okay,
Thanks for doing that, Sean.
Yeah, one thing that I want to try and do at some point is I'd need to get Greater Sapien for this, but you, me, and Greater Sapien should do a stream sometime. Because
I'm easily getting a hold of.
Can I come?
Greater Sapien is a little harder to get a hold of because he doesn't use Discord much anymore. Not sure how active he is on Twitter, but yeah, he's on
all the time, man.
Oh, well, then it should be easy then.
Let me on.
Essentially, what I want to do is I want to have the best voices, and by best voices I mean like Sean. Sean and Greater Sapien would have to be two of the best voices in the community. Like actually,
you have to get Blue Marble on there as well. Blue Marble too. On the three of them.
Okay, and I'm not. I mean, I don't know how good my voice is in comparison, but you know.
Well, I was actually going to make a joke about that when you said you wanted to get the two best voices on YouTube. I was like, well, why are you there?
You need to get Markiplier in there. His voice can put you to sleep.
Big Blue does have a voice, though.
Big
Blue I don't know, he can be loud.
Get Neil deGrasse Tyson. His voice is also great.
Oh, Neil deGrasse Tyson. Fuck yeah. I just listened to that man's heavenly voice.
That's why I like listening to the audiobook of what's that? Oh, Astrophysics for People in a Hurry.
Yeah, I was listening to that a couple weeks ago. My friend recommended it to me. It's like on my fucking I got my Amazon shit, but yeah, I can't speak today.
But
okay, I'm gonna cut out because that's gonna be a hard one to do tonight.
All right. Take it. I'll probably only stream for like 20 more minutes, and then I've got a few things that I need to do. But yeah, Neil deGrasse Tyson is what. No, there are some people that just have a really good voice, right? Neil deGrasse Tyson is one of them. When it comes to other, I'm just trying to think of other people that I have heard that have really good voices. Morgan Freeman, everyone loves Morgan Freeman's voice.
Oh, narrate.
Oh yes.
This man can narrate me having sweet rolls.
Christopher Lee last night do House of Usher. That was pretty. I enjoyed it. It was nice and creepy, and he's got a dope voice.
Jeremy Irons, he says, is off key.
Who's the singer from Steel Panther? He has a pretty nice voice.
Oh, Michael Starr, I think it is.
Super Chat and Flat Earth Aussie Jesus are here.
Oh.
Flat Earth Jesus is here.
Yeah, Gary Tompkins donated $20 saying, "Hope this helps a bit. Things suck, but somehow get better." I think things at this point in time, I am alright because everyone just, when it came to the recent thing, everyone just pulled together and helped me out, and we actually got to $783 per month, which converts nicely into New Zealand dollars as about 1,000. So
very nice. Very nice.
Sweet.
I actually do like one of the comments though. Plan a walk is a good reason why we need UBI or something. Something like that was one of the comments. And I mean, I do agree that we need UBI, but you know, it's a very finicky thing to implement, I think, because it's like, okay, how do you get the money for it, and you know, but I think it'll eventually become a necessity.
You know, Simon Dan was sponsored by Curiosity Stream.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Lucky bastard.
Yeah. Actually, one of the things that I'm going to talk about in Flat Earth News, the next one, will be a shout out that Simon Dan received.
Oh, nice.
All right.
So, does anyone here, and CB knows about this, so.
Who? What do I know? I don't really know too much.
So, does anyone here know about Angry Joe? Or watch the Angry Joe show?
Yeah, he gets angry and stuff.
I don't know Angry Joe.
So if you
His
go,
name is Joe.
So if you go to the Angry Joe show, right, and go to there's one of his videos that he put out where he basically, at about a couple minutes into the video, he said about Simon Dan and says, so if you like all this flat Earth and conspiracy stuff, you should watch Simon Dan. He even left a link to Simon Dan's channel in the description. So that was pretty cool.
Very nice.
Yeah, that was pretty
Yeah.
cool, yeah.
His show is funny. His show's entertaining.
Yeah,
And,
definitely.
It was one of his newscast episodes. Oh wait, I'm the one that found that for you. Or I was watching a video.
Yeah. That's why I said that you already knew about it.
I'm just pulling my intellectualism card again. So, next step in human evolution right here, buddies.
I'm looking for my gate video.
You may not like it, but this is like Alpha Prime. Ladies.
Pinnacle function of
You like big brains.
I actually wonder if I'll ever have a gate video. There are two videos that got... The two closest videos that I had to a gate video was one which basically had Simon Dan in the title. So that's why that did so good. But the other one was... that prank that we pulled on the Flat Earthers.
Wait, who's Simon Dan again? I
He's
know that
some guy. He
It-
runs.
He's
His
just some
legs,
guy with a
I don't
YouTube
know.
channel. As a couple
Oh, okay.
thousand
Because I hear you
subscribers.
mention him a lot, but so that's why I heard him in the Angry. Oh, that's. Yeah, I'll just like give that to what's his dick?
Yeah, you should definitely watch the video. I think it's Flat Earth compilation.
Does he really not know who Simon Dan is?
Yeah, just some small YouTuber with 213,000 subscribers. It's okay. Just
Oh, so we can make money and become.
Oh yeah.
And, yeah, he does more than that too. But you should check him out. He's pretty good. Yeah.
This man.
It's good stuff. He didn't get where he was for no reason. Trust me on that.
You should definitely. But definitely one thing that you should do, right, is you should watch I think it's the Flat Earth Fail compilation 3 or 4 or 5, one of them. I think it might be 5.
Who's Robert? Who are you people? Why am I here?
I am a meat popsicle.
This is no longer a game. I'm scared.
One person's telling me to debate Flat Earth Aussie Jesus. Not today. I'm not. This is a casual stream, not a debating stream. You know. Next stream I'll debate Flat Earth Aussie Jesus because that's the debate. That's the debate stream. You know, we're being nice and casual. We actually haven't had any Flat Earthers come along and say, "Oh, this is curvature." Well, except for Flat Earth Aussie Jesus, you know, we haven't had Flat Earthers come along and saying there is no observable curvature. But here's my question: why do Flat Earthers always do that? I've noticed a pattern. Flat Earthers will come into a chat and they'll just say the same talking points over and over again. No observable curvature. They'll say water can't stick to a ball. It's like, well, you don't think we've heard all this? You don't think we've heard all this before?
Over and over again.
I mean,
Because curvature and gravity are the two main things that the sticking points with Flat Earthers. That's why. So that's the only thing they're going to keep going with. So, you know, without those two things, then they're stuck, or with those two things, whichever way you want to look at it.
But here's the thing: even when you try to explain it to them, they don't listen.
I just spew my spectrum onto the fucking world.
It's not that they don't want to listen. It's just they if you think about it, they can't because it doesn't fit their narrative. So they can't.
Exactly, they don't
They
listen.
They won't accept. Doesn't matter what you say, they won't accept what you're thinking. So really, all you're doing in a debate is you're actually trying to just demean the other.
I'm trying to sway the audience. I'm trying to sway the audience. I have no care what the other person is saying.
Exactly.
Whoever left the debate saying that guy was right.
Yeah, exactly. Never.
I'm
Very
calling
rarely.
those claims a thesis fallacy. It's not so much that I'm not trying to be fallacious. I'm just saying they always claim the same things. You know, and it's like,
Well, you get it, and it's just shit posting. It's irritating, and you get it on sports subreddit and everywhere. People pop in. You know.
I'm just gonna.
Got big echo.
Yeah. Robert, you're. Ah, there we go. I think it's fixed.
What was happening?
Oh, there was just a bit of echo coming through your end.
Yeah, my voice meter crashed.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Sorry about that.
I've started using voice meter a bit recently. Debate something else like Pluto. Is Pluto a planet? imagine trying to have that debate with a flat earther. Is Pluto? Should Pluto be a planet or a?
I mean, why not? Why not?
Yes, it is. You're all wrong, and I'm right. It's a planet. That's it.
Pluto's a dog and a ruler of the.
That's what I was thinking.
is the canine ruler of the underworld.
20 minutes into the debate, 20 minutes into the debate, the flat earth said, I thought the flat earther goes, I thought we were talking about the dog. What the hell?
This isn't cartoon oriented? What's going on?
That'd actually be a really fun debate.
What the fuck is a planet? What the fuck is a planet?
Hot mic. Somebody typing hot mic.
Planet walk.
Type.
Oh, he's allowed to. He's the host. He's allowed to do that.
Hey.
That's keyboard abuse.
No, I just
Stop
typed
beating
really
up your
fast.
keyboard.
I will
Call the
destroy you.
police. Call
I
the
will
police.
destroy you, mortal. F6. Control C. Go back in your womb. You virgin.
Is that what happens when you throw out your trash? When you recycle your recycle bin? It just blinks back into the nether realm.
What's the shortcut keys for delete? Delete this.
I believe you open up the terminal and type RN-R or something like that.
That's too many keys for shortcuts.
And that is the yeetus deletus command.
I gotcha. So I need to finish the Octopath first, but I also have no will to play video right now. I don't know why. I need motivation.
Yo, actually, when RM-RF / yeah. So
there you go.
But one person actually typed into. I remember when we were doing Linux in an IT course. One person decided it would be a good idea to go find delete all.
Oh, nice.
It just went ahead and deleted everything. And I think he was in the root folder as well, so it's completely...
Hey, new person.
Hello, new person.
Oh, new person?
He says he got here randomly from a math stream ending.
Oh, nice.
Wait,
that's weird.
Oh, nice. I love doing
Brian
that.
Stevens. Brian Stevens in the chat.
Well then, welcome.
Okay. Ahoy hoy, Brian Stevens. I'm not sure what math stream you were watching, but I'm glad I was in your recommendations.
That's strange.
Yeah, I don't know.
We are.
Thanks for coming in.
Okay, well, you know, I do this I don't do this every week, but I do something every week, and I make videos, so you might as well stick around. You might learn some stuff, especially if I have smart people like AB Science on.
And maybe you'll be blessed with a thank you.
There's some French guy in the chat. I don't know who that is. Some guy of Legere III or something. Oh.
Legere III.
Yeah.
That's not to be offended about. It's just Americans think that the accent's funny.
Well,
daytime, nighttime.
I actually
Let me apologize
Daytime.
for being American.
Nighttime. Nighttime.
Oh yeah, sexy.
I actually remember I actually remember this thing where this meme that I saw, and it was actually pretty funny. It was, so what is your opinion on something to do with the rest of the world, right? And then it had it had Europe going saying, what does this mean? And then it has America going, what does rest of the world mean?
Oh my. Well, yeah, that's about right. Sadly. Goddamn.
Let's talk about the difference between sunlight and daylight.
Oh my god.
Not today. That's not me saying that, by the way. That's not me saying
I'm
that.
waiting.
No,
I see it.
Well,
I see it.
Let's not go into that right now. Let's not go into that right now.
Daylight is when.
I'm going to stick up for Flat Earth Logic Jesus here. I'm going to stick up for Ross. While the terms he's deployed for daylight and sunlight on the standard, there are different types of light. As in, there's direct sunlight and then there's ambient light, which is sunlight bouncing around off stuff.
Like,
there's a lot of different waves. Like people.
He says he's laugh my ass off. Bounces off.
Yeah,
things.
bounces off things. It does indeed. If you put up a big red cloth on the wall, you'll find the room has got more red light than it used to.
It's true, but it's
pretty easy to test.
It just sounds funny. That's all.
Yeah.
Also, another thing.
Yeah, we know what you mean, Ross. We know what you mean.
Well, it doesn't
that was
really
him coming in
bounce
first.
off. It doesn't really bounce off. It is an electron
the woman
emission.
speak.
It is you are seeing the emission of electron, seeing the frequency that is left, that is reflected, basically comes off of the material. So that's
I don't want to learn today.
Well, often the light is
He said it's filtering it to appear red in such an instance. That makes no sense to what we're talking about, bro.
I mean, you can also...
So it's absorbing the
It
other
doesn't
wavelengths.
debunk what you said, though.
I mean, you can also, like, what you could do, right? Here's a little experiment for Flat Earth Aussie Jesus to do. Have a mirror and have a dark room that has only one bit of light coming, one small hole of light coming in, and that have the mirror sort of placed in the. That's
apparently his room right now.
Can you guys
So,
hear me?
oh yeah, we can hear. So here, my experiment is have the mirror so that the light hits the mirror and bounces off. And I'm not talking about laser light. You can do this with sunlight. You know, you can if you have a room and just have a bit of sunlight come off and have a mirror. You know, it will bounce off the mirror. You can test this for yourself to show that light does bounce off things.
That's true.
Oh, that's not PMs. Whatever. You know, but
So for a second there, I was wondering why Robert Legere said "fap" in the chat.
Fap. That was all typo, baby. All typo.
Ow!
All typo.
no.
Daylight is more like fluorescent tube type of light.
Fluorescent
No,
tube.
it's not, because fluorescent tube light has a certain spectral peaks if you do spectrography.
Okay.
Whatever it is.
Completely different.
Daylight and sunlight, you'll find, are very similar.
I mean, you can bounce sunlight off of a mirror. I mean, you don't even really need to. You don't even really need to have a dark room. You can just.
Look in a mirror.
Yeah, well, you can just have a mirror that is reflecting the sun, and I mean, you can see the sun in the mirror. It will hurt your eyes, but you know, you can see the sun in that mirror. I mean, it's evidence.
I think that's perhaps addressing a different point from what you made, which was to do with light reflecting off other things such as wallpaper or curtains or carpets or stuff like that.
I mean, yeah.
Which is less intuitive because it feels like they don't. But the light does bounce off them because you can observe that thing, which is light traveling from that thing to your eye.
Yeah.
And that thing is not emitting light. If it's a carpet or whatever, it's not emitting that light. It's only reflecting it.
Sunlight is not exactly daylight. Daylight. What?
That fits if you replace sunlight with direct sunlight and daylight with ambient light, because ambient light is scattered all over the place, so it will only cause very, very soft type shadows that you can't really see. Like ambient occlusion type stuff.
Hangout. I didn't think this was going to be a debate hangout. It's kind of descended into that.
Oh, it's not a debate. I think Ross is fun.
We need to stop learning.
Yeah. Well,
I'm about to. This is casual chat.
Yeah. We'll
serious here.
We'll merge our chromosomes here. Merge.
No. You don't split the. You don't merge the streams like that. You don't want the spectrum to explode.
We're going to merge our merge 2 of our 48 chromosomes to have 46 chromosomes and become true intellectuals.
Yeah, don't make me learn. What are you doing?
Evolution joke.
Hey, I have 137 chromosomes. I will have you know. And
Congrats.
I operate perfectly fine.
I have a couple, I think.
Anyway, it's not a debate. What Flat Earth and Jesus is talking about is essentially correct. He's just using different terminology from what people usually use.
So he's trolling.
No, he's not trolling. He's just worked out something that happens to be actually basically how light kind of works.
But he's applying it wrong.
And then it made up some names, which is what anyone would do.
But anywho, I'm going to end up the stream because, as I said, there are a few things that I need to get to. Oh shit. Hold up. Let me try and reload the page. See if that brings up the viewer activity.
53.
Schrodinger's cat. Hello.
1
He's
second.
got the noisy hot mic.
Hey, Schrodinger's cat.
Cocoa Person, I think it's coming from you. You got a very noisy hot mic.
Ooh, Cocoa Puffs. I love Cocoa Puffs.
Cocoa Person. Cocoa
Yo.
Person.
You got a hot mic.
Party.
That mic is hot.
Good boys.
Alright, there we go.
Did that fix it?
Yeah.
Alright.
You're okay, we're about to end. It's all good.
It's okay.
Yeah, so
you're all good.
Now you're fine.
Oh, there we go.
I like hot mics.
I got the super chats back up because there's some that I didn't read out, so I'm just going to read through all of them. So Ritesh Dayal donated €4.99 and had no thing that they said. Okay, no message.
Is covering the microphone with my thumb working?
Yeah, you're okay.
You can set it to push to talk. It's a bit more efficient.
Gotta get a Yeti like a real game.
I won't be able to do that once I'm driving.
Okay.
All right, and Kyle Roberts donated wait, is it two? No, it's £2. I get euros and pounds confused these days because and they said I hate everything Logan Paul that is Logan Paul until now, and yeah, we addressed that earlier. And then there was 50 Nokias from Andreas in the North who just said relax, and yeah, I've been relaxing. It's been nice to relax. And Kerr Bowties said about the income stream for $8 Canadian. And then there was Mr. Victory who donated $2 saying for the fun of it and help a little. And as I said, I don't need any more help. I mean, the amount that I'm going to get from YouTube this month is above the 130 threshold, and even if I didn't get money from YouTube, I'd still be able to eat. I'd still be able to eat, and that's the important thing.
I think your honesty is appreciated.
And B-Ball for Life donated $2 saying, "For your troubles, mate." Thank you. Gary Tompkins donated $20 saying, "Hope this helps a bit. Things suck, but somehow get better." And yeah, things are getting better. I might actually may be able. This may be. I might actually be able to get everything sorted out like within a few weeks. Obviously, I won't be making like a full income outside of YouTube within a few weeks. But you know, I'll be at a point where all the things that have been going like really weird could be sorted out within a few weeks, which would be good. But we'll see. We will see about that. And then there's the Casual Spaceman. Who's that? Who donated £5 saying,
Never heard of him.
Yeah. Keep up the work you do. Ahoy hoy.
Ahoy hoy. I don't know, is that how you spell it? Ahoy hoy? I don't know.
I generally spell it H-O-Y. Either way works though.
Whatever.
Ahoy hoy.
Ahoy,
Another super chat. Super chat.
Then there's John.
Dang.
Then there's John Rapp who donated $5 saying, "Thanks everyone." And yes, thanks everyone. And thank you, John Rapp.
Australian? Oh, the A. Gotcha.
Yeah.
And you got another one as well.
Yeah, from the Star Killer Sevi guy. Don't know who that is. Who said irresponsible MTG funds, mastery pass or packs. I don't care. It said IDC witches. I don't care. So. I was reading out what he said, not saying that I don't kiss. So yeah, I mean, I guess I could put some money towards MTG if that's what you're donating for. So
No.
Yeah, and you better, you son of a bitch.
You're trying to bankrupt him.
I mean, if it's $20.
Oh yeah, it's magic.
You know, it's.
Let me know if it's echoing, okay?
No echo.
Is it
He's
echoing?
actually making money off of saying this. Sadly.
One person said, "I just found $2 in my back pocket. Can I mail it to you?" I actually did have $2 mailed to me. Which
Nice. Did she buy you a pop?
wait, what?
Oh wait, never mind.
So the $2 that was mailed to me was actually $2, and it was in $1 notes. No, it wasn't two. Actually, no, it wasn't $2. It was $4 in $2 notes. So
Nice.
you know,
That's what I would have done.
Nice.
yeah. Anyway, that's it for the stream. Let me switch to the outro. So leave a like and subscribe if you liked this stream. Leave a comment of what sort of streams you'd like me to do in the future. It's always very interesting to get some ideas. I've actually got an idea, right, where I just go onto Omegle and have the thing as Flat Earth and just debate random people on Omegle. That would be very fun, I think.
That would be entertaining.
I would have to set it up beforehand so that I've got this. So I've got something that covers.
Dude, you'll record for like 6 hours just sifting through all the penises. Ugh.
Yeah.
No matter how sciencey the subject is.
Well, whenever I do that, right? Because I have done Omegle streams in the past, right? What I do is I have a hotkey. Whenever I get connected to a new person, I make sure that the screen's up, something black over it, because I don't want to get dicks on my stream. Or pussy.
We can find someone that wants
Or
it.
boobs. I don't want any of that on my streams. So.
What about a little bit of nipple? A little bit of man nipple?
According to Facebook, that is not.
We've had that. We've had that on this channel.
Thank you, Zuckerberg.
There is one stream which I don't know how they get away with it, where they actually do have nipples on the stream. I don't know how they get away with it, but, you know.
Oh, it's art. They're painting themselves.
And that was actually a stream that I was on yesterday, which was the Silly Shills Show. So, you know, you should go check them out, as well as go and check out 1 Minute Debunk. But anyway, I will see you.
Go and subscribe to the show. Let's do it now.
Run along, my child, and play Magic.
Anyway, I will see you in the next stream. Between you and me, thank you for watching.
Good night.
So is this work a cappella?
Can you guys hear me?
I hear you.
Okay,
It's a
cool.
little bit of ASMR so you can hear me type.
Okay, I think that was...
Okay. I am leaving the parking garage now. I wanted to wait until you ended the stream before I created
Oh,
any
it's not
sort
cool.
of noise.
Oh, it's not quite ended yet. There's...
Oh.
I'm just, you know, playing a thing while people say their goodbyes.
Oh.
Goodbye, goodbye. Thank you very much. Goodbye, goodbye. We thank you for coming.
What was...
Goodbye.
Oh, yeah, that's what I was going to do.
Was it today?
Why are you still here?